It's a good question because there have been some members of Congress who have said that they are going to reject the federal special for politicians plan to go on the one that everybody else does, including Robert Pittenger, Representative Pittenger out of Charlotte. So that is an option for Lyndsey Graham. Will he be doing that, or will he be taking the health care plan that we have to pay for but don't have access to? Great question. Maybe the senator will weigh on it some point in the future. Okay, next question.
Got one over here.
I have two questions if I can get away with it. One, I'd like to go back to a subject that was brought up earlier by a white-headed gentleman over on the other side. And that's on all this immigration mess. We've got absolutely no business giving amnesty to anybody until that border is totally, completely secure. That Reagan accepted, that fence still isn't built. And he was supposed to get it in '86. We're not getting anywhere fast with that. And my second question would be, when is the Congress going to get off its tail and let's start bringing people and putting them in the damn jails, excuse me, jails, and quit giving them passes. We've got people right now that are on taking full draw of their salary, pleading the Fifth Amendment, and not doing their job. And we need to get rid of them. Just absolutely get rid of them. Look what Reagan did. They told Reagan, you cannot fire the air traffic controller. Next morning, he fired them.
Fine, gentlemen.
And the new ones that came in knew that they better take care or they were going to get fired. And we need to do the same thing.
All right, fantastic. Any other questions, comments for our Senator, Lyndsey Graham?
Hi, my name is William Crane. I live in Myrtle. I just moved to Myrtle Beach from our inspector state. This may seem a little arcane.
Can you talk louder?
Microphone.
Okay.
Microphone.
My name is William Crane. Can you hear it?
No.
Talking through my... Hello? Can you hear that?
Help me.
You want to try the podium?
The letter up here? Yeah.
Must be the government microphone, doesn't work.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
My name is William Crane. I just recently moved here from our inspector state, Pennsylvania. We love them up there. Anyway, this may seem a little arcane. It's a letter I wrote to the senator, and I haven't received an answer for it. Senator Graham, there has been numerous reports in the press and on television that in 2010, before the national election, Senators Max Baucus and Charles Schumer wrote letters to the Internal Revenue Service requesting that the IRS investigate the tax-free status of organizations containing the words Tea Parties and other types of conservative organizations. These same outlets report that this was widely known throughout Washington, D.C., including the House and the Senate. I believe this raises questions that I hope you will answer. One, were you aware of these letters in 2010? And two, when were you first aware of them? It seems to me that a lot of this stuff was going around about trying to target conservatives. And I don't think Lyndsey Graham is a major supporter of conservative organizations. So if in fact he had knowledge that this was being done and didn't speak out, I think that's something we need to know.
Excellent.
All right, any other questions for our Senator Lyndsey Graham? Not very talkative tonight. We apologize for that.
This isn't so much, my name is Roy Jessup from Goose Creek. This isn't so much a question, but it's a statement. Senator Graham, if you and the rest of your Senate colleagues who have not signed on to the Mike Lee and Ted Cruz initiative to defund Obamacare, because you're taking the word of Karl Rove and a lot of Washington pundits and insiders that tell you that that's a battle that can't be won. Well, if you would show up at events like this, if you and your colleagues would get out and meet the people and sense the movement to defund Obamacare, you could go in there positive that your vote will stand. And I know that there's a lot of Democrats that would be voting with the Republicans. The Republicans need to stand strong. That's it. They need to stand strong. They need to fight this battle. You're over there in Egypt worrying about fighting a battle in Syria. Well, there's a battle to be fought right here in Washington, D.C. against Obama.
Thank you for your comments. Any other comments or questions? I saw a couple of hands over here.
I just want to ask the senator who's going to show up to the primary debate.
That's an excellent question. We believe that his staff is probably watching this streaming live online. Senator? He's not committed yet.
Mr. Graham, he's getting tired though. So, just bring the question.
He's got a little pen.
Mr. Graham, Mr. Graham, Mr. Graham, can you hear me better?
I heard it.
It's on. I'll just be loud. Yeah.
There you go.
When will you and the rest of the progressives in the Republican Party leave it and leave us a better place?
Any other comments or questions for the senator? Could you pass the microphone or, well,
I'll sound off. How about that?
All right.
5 years ago, I joined the Army to get medical training as an Army medic and enter the healthcare industry for a career. She and I both traveled up here. We're in school, full-time training, working towards a master's degree, possibly beyond, to provide all of you folks with healthcare. What do you say to those of us who are in healthcare about the projection that approximately 10 to 15% of hospitals are going to immediately go into the red upon full implementation of Obamacare, and those of us whose jobs and the job markets that we're going to be entering into are at risk because of this law? What do you say to us? We're working hard, incurring debt. I've gone overseas and fought a war last year to be able to pay to go to college to go into the healthcare industry, and now my job and my future is at risk because of bad legislation, thousands of pages long that nobody's read. What do you say to us?
All right. You got a question?
Well, I don't have a question.
Comment?
I've got a comment. I spent 26 years of my life in defense of this country, probably 6 or 7 years underneath the water. And every time I see our senator wearing his uniform and knowing what his record is, I want to throw up.
All right, any other comments and questions? You've got one more? Okay. I don't know what you do.
He gave us this sheet and said that the top 10 bad votes. You missed the worst one, and that was his vote on Obamacare. It's not listed. I'm sorry, that wasn't the one I wanted to hit. I wanted to hit the fact that he went along with the border deal. And that's not on.
And helped write that bill as part of the Gang of Eight. Absolutely. I have a question, because I'm here and I'm a constituent, so I'll ask it too. It's bothered me for many years. In the Washington Post, Lyndsey Graham and Senator Chuck Schumer, about 2 years ago, wrote in defense of and support of the requirement that every one of you here in the United States of America would have to get a biometric ID. Yes. In his words, in order to work.
Don't take the ID to the polls, though. You don't need it.
No, don't do that. Was it falsified? An auditor. He Americans should be willing to do that as a condition to work. They tried that once and didn't work out so
Biometrics is
well.
what we do to the Afghans. Just so you know.
What'd you say?
Biometrics is what we use to identify terrorists in Afghanistan.
Oh, okay. Well, so it works. The system works great then. It's fantastic. All right, good. So they'll know who we are. Yeah, and NSA will know who you are too. So that's great. All right. Any other comments? Any other questions? We're gonna wrap this up. What should we do? One more, and that's it.
Just a quick comment. We don't want to secure the border first. We want to secure the border, period. Because if you secure the border and you give them amnesty, they can legally send for all their family members, and it won't matter if the border's secure. So secure the border and deport. Does everybody ever heard of Operation Wetback in 1953 by Dwight D. Eisenhower? We had about 3 million illegals then. For 3 months, he aggressively arrested 1,000 illegals a day. He put them on a steamer and dropped them 500 miles south of the border, and he also deported their kids. Their kids that are born here are not U.S. citizens. If you go to the Congressional Code of 1866 and look up Jacob Howard, who wrote the line, subject to the jurisdiction thereof, he is recorded as saying this would not include children born to foreigners, aliens, etc. We're supposed to look to the original intent. Thank you.
All right. Well, we hate that Lyndsey wasn't more talkative this evening, but I'm sure he's thinking very deeply about everything, all the feedback that you've been able to give him. A couple of points. We still would love to have a real town hall with our Senator Lyndsey Graham. That invitation is still open. Time and place of his choosing. If he feels better sneaking in under cover of darkness, we'll do it in the middle of the night. Whatever works for his schedule. I know the folks at Freedom Works and the folks who organized this tonight would be willing to have this conversation with our senator. And then in conclusion, I want to remind everyone that we will send all the questions asked in a copy of the video to Senator Graham's office. So he is going to get your questions. They've already watched it online, I guarantee you. And then a call to action. There is something that you can do. You can call Senator Lyndsey Graham's office and encourage him to defund Obamacare, and we'll have all of the ways that you can do that in this flyer. You can get that on the way out. Just want to thank everyone for coming. Anything else I've forgotten or haven't gotten to?
Well, we tell Lyndsey that we were searching for weapons when we came in. He really doesn't have to be afraid.
That's right. We were searching for weapons. Fantastic. Yeah, well, you wouldn't want to get tackled or anything. Right, okay. All right, so fantastic. I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight, and hopefully we will at some time be able to see our senator in public, live and real, like the Muslim Brotherhood.
He's on the Sunday shows 3 or 4 times a weekend, so it's easy to see him.
Yeah. All right, fantastic. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. We really appreciate it.